Hello YouTube, this is a Satsu 5 and today I'm reviewing the Colombian River Knife and Tool Ripple Stainless Bronze with the new VEF Serrations. And before I get started on the review, I'd like to get the stats out of the way because that's the boring part. Let's just say that the overall length on this blade is 6.38 inches. The closed length is 4.43 inches. It weighs 3.1 ounces. The blade length is 3.16 inches. And the blade material is CRKT 440. This is my first experience with a CRKT 440. And the grind is hollow. It's a modified drop point blade with a combo edge. The handle material is a bronze titanium nitride coated 420J stainless steel, and it's a frame lock. One position pocket clip, so it is not ambidextrous. But let's get started on the knife. This is a Ken Onion design and is sporting a new serration pattern. This is, I don't know if they have a particular name involved for these serrations, but I'm calling them the new VEF serrations. They're designed by Tom VEF, and they're different because the original VEF serrations are like these shark's teeth or miniature hawk bills. They're very, very efficient cutting serrations, and I like them a lot. But they're expensive serrations. They cannot be mass produced, and so I hear that each serration has to be hand cut into the blade, which makes it a very expensive serration. So Tom VEF wanted to find a serration pattern that gives a lot of cutting capability and is also able to be mass produced. So this is what he ended up with. They're kind of squirreled serrations, big gaps, and I must say, when it comes to serrations, I'm a big fan of the big channeled gap serrations, not the really fine tooth serrations, but the gaps. I've always liked Spyderco serrations because they had the big scallops, and I liked both versions of the VEF serrations because they have the big gaps. It makes them a lot easier to sharpen on the Spyderco sharp maker. If you have the very, very fine tooth serrations that are more like points than edges, they're almost impossible to sharpen, and they're very fragile and they just don't cut that well. They snag. I find with the bigger scallops that you get a better cutting performance. Anyway, that's the difference between the two serrations. If I had to pick which serration pattern I like the best, it's pretty tight, but I'd have to go with the original VEF serrations. If you have a knife that you really, really like and you want the original VEF serrations on them, you can actually send your knife to Tom VEF and he'll serrate it for you. And I think it's around $10 per serration, so it might get expensive if you want to do a fully serrated blade, but if you just want 3 or 4 serrations near the heel of the blade for cutting rough fibrous material, you can actually do that and put it on maybe your cold steel knife or whatever knife you want. But before I get off topic, let me remind myself that this is a review for the Ripple. So we'll just put that out of the way. And by the way, this is a first production run Ripple. And I have to say, the looks really do it for me. I like the looks of the blade. It has a little bit of belly to it, but it's not too much belly. Which means I can, this is really good for opening letters, opening boxes, breaking down boxes. You know, you can really use that point for precision cutting. I will say, if you're really, really using this hard, let's just say you get your Gorilla Grip on and you really grab the blade, and I don't know what your would be doing with this, but cutting very, very cut resistant rope, or you're cutting, carving big chunks of wood, that, you know, dry wood, not green wood, that this area right here will dig into your finger and it's uncomfortable. So if you really get a good grip on it, like I am doing right here, squeezing and really using this knife hard, it will be a little bit uncomfortable. But this is more of an EDC knife, not a hard use knife, so I wouldn't recommend using it as a hard use knife. Just use it as an EDC knife. Boxes, string, a little bit of rope, but not cut resistant rope, which me and my brother has came across cut resistant rope before, and it's really difficult to cut. But just use this as a kind of a medium to light duty knife, and you shouldn't have too many issues with it. It does have the IKBS ball bearing system in the action of the blade. So let me tell you about the IKBS system, or my experiences with it. Me and my brother both got these knives at the NRA convention at the Columbia Ripple Knife and Tool booth. I got this knife specifically for the purpose of testing out these new VEF Serrations. I wasn't really looking into the IKBS system. My brother got the Columbia Ripple Knife and Tool Swindle, and we both love the knife. I wish I would have got the Swindle, but anyways, we were out of the show and we were comparing knives and stuff, and we tried opening this one up, and it was extremely difficult and uncomfortable to open. This flipper was very, very stiff, and it just was not fun to use the knife at first. I found the best way to use this knife is kind of like a ladle, and use your thumb and opening it up in that fashion. But it's also kind of an awkward position to hold a knife, but it's really easy to open the knife in that way using your thumb. But if you use your pointer finger, that flipper really digs into the pad of your finger, and it was very difficult to open. And it's still a little bit difficult today, but it's gotten considerably easier. There was a break-in period, and I can't tell you how long the break period was because I was using this on and off for a while, but it's still a little bit difficult to open. And I find that the only thing I can really think of that was hindering my deployment of this blade, besides the break-in period, was I'm putting the way that this hand... Hush! Don't you talk back to me. That's just a cat. Sorry, that's the dog. Anyways, I was putting my fingers... Hang on one moment. What's wrong? The only thing I could think of was that I was putting my fingers on the lock ball as I was deploying the blade, which was putting added pressure on the blade, and was keeping me from opening the blade, which I find that still to be true. Depending on how hard I'm putting, or how much pressure I'm putting on the lock ball, it can be very difficult to open this blade. And then if I put zero pressure on it, it opens pretty easily. But it's just kind of an awkward knife to use, in my opinion, because you have to grab it like way back here to open the knife up real nice and smoothly. That'll use your thumb. So it's not my favorite knife as far as deployment is concerned. It's not a very smooth transition from in out of the pocket, opening, cutting, and back into the pocket. I do like the serrations, like I said earlier. They're very easy to sharpen, and let me talk about this. I am not a fan of combo blades. I either want fully serrated or plain edge, because I can sharpen plain edge knives. I can sharpen serrated blade knives, but when I get the combination, you have to sharpen them as two different sections, and I find that to be a little bit difficult for me. So right now, the top of the blade, the plain edge portion, is really dull, and the serrations are razor sharp. So I'm going to put the dog now. I'm holding the dog. Let's see. There's the dog. I'm going to put her down and hopefully she won't balk. And I'm going to show you these serrations. Every serration should have the ability to shave hair. When I was new into knives, I didn't like serrations because once they were dull, and I could never find a decent serration. But after I got into high quality knives and I found out you could actually get decent serrations that can shave, then I was like, you know what, that's the standard. If a knife can't shave, then it's not razor sharp. So I think that even serrations should be at least razor sharp out of the box and should be able to maintain that sharpness after you use it. You should be able to sharpen it yourself and be able to shave with it. Now I will warn you, when you're shaving with serrations, especially serrations that have the points on them, the points will dig into your skin and you'll get these long red blood marks across your arms, and you'll bleed a little bit and you'll have these thin red lines. That just comes with the territory, in my opinion, when you're wanting a superior edge on a serration. You kind of have to just deal with it. It doesn't bleed a lot, just a little bit, and it scabs over very quickly. But with these big gapped serrations, they really don't dig into your skin as much as the pointed serrations. And that's one of the reasons why I like them, because they do more cutting, not snagging. But that's it. That's the review. Let me let's see, make sure I've gone over everything. The price. Now keep in mind, this is a Colombian Riffle Knife and Tool website price, the MSRP, and it's $135. You'll want to find it for considerably cheaper than that on retail websites. But that's it. Far as the knife's aesthetics, I'm very happy with it. Far as the serrations, I'm very happy with it. The deployment and the fact that it's combo edge, I'm not so keen on. I'd like to see this fully serrated, and I don't know what they can do, but they need to do something to make this easier to deploy. Like I said, there was a break-in period, and it's considerably easier to open now than it was when I first got it. But if you put too much pressure on the lock ball, it's like really hard to open, and to put no pressure on the lock ball is kind of difficult to grab the knife in that position. You'll kind of just do it like this. Again, you can always use your thumb, which is very easily done. But that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. I'm Asatsu5, and I'm out.